y'all, it's Leah from the Oppenheimer Ranch Project. I'm here with Beatrix at the moment, who's eating her lunch quite noisily. This never ceases to be entertaining. Oh, to be a pig. Anyway, this is not a pig video, but I wanted to give a little update on our chicks. There's nothing especially exciting going on, except that everybody's doing quite well. And just let you guys take a watch on Chick TV. I'll give a little update on a couple changes. Hi ladies. Everybody's sunning right now. Oh. I love Chick TV. It's very entertaining. Hi ladies. Don't run away. Alright, on to Chick TV. Mr. Sussex here. And one of our salmon faveroles with his fancy beard and muffs. Still growing feathers in on his back. And his funny 5 toes. You see those 2 toes sticking out on the back of the foot? There's usually only 1 toe there. But the Dorking breed has 5 toes, and these salmon faveroles have Dorking in their breeding background, so thus the 5 toes. The 5th toe is pretty useless. And then eventually he'll have a spur as well. Hey guys. So we will have one more salmon faverole in here, who is currently still in the garage, and he's a mutant. He's mostly white, which is very strange, and he's very slow to develop, and he's also extremely neurotic, so we'll see how that goes. And then in the back there, the dark bird is a Barnevelder. And we will have one more Barnevelder Cockerel in here, who is also in the garage currently. And then we'll have the rooster from the pullet yard also in here. So I will move all 3 birds at the same time at night. The idea is you put them to bed together and they wake up in the morning and it's as if they were all always together. It doesn't exactly work out like that the next day, but it's better to have introduced 3 new birds instead of 1, simply because they don't get picked on quite as much because there's more new birds. You guys are a bunch of scaredy cats. I gave them a raspberry and a blueberry a little while ago, and they stared at them for a bit. But it looks like somebody took the blueberry and moved the raspberry at least. Oh, somebody's trying it. It's the rooster. He's gonna get moved into the rooster yard in a few days. And our adult hens are slowly adjusting to being all together in this larger group. It's kind of remained the case that this little group of 5 here, they have been kind of keeping to themselves with the new ladies in the yard. So there's definitely some territory issues. These 5 have all kind of just laid down and let the other ladies be dominant. They're also protecting Crooked Lady over here, who's the lady who I believe had a stroke, or maybe 2. She's not doing real great right now, but she doesn't seem to be suffering. It's just hard for her to get around. So I haven't yet decided exactly what I'm going to do about that and when, but as she's not suffering, I'm not going to do anything about it right now. And these are all the ladies who are new to this yard, and they're kind of bossy. But we're slowly integrating. And of course, Mallory the duck is in here as well. Hi, lady. Hi, lady. Here she is. Hi, Miss Mallory. Hi. You look like you got neck hackles like a rooster. Are you becoming a rooster? It's interesting, a lot of these well summers actually have spurs, so there must be something genetic. And we have had a couple of well summers that start to resemble roosters, and this is something that can happen sometimes when you have all ladies together without roosters. Sometimes the hens will start taking on rooster characteristics like these neck hackles, and sometimes they will even mount other hens, and I've seen that happen. Supposedly, this can go as far as hens becoming capable of fertilizing other hens and their eggs. I don't know how often that's happened in history or if there's any real proof of that, but there is definitely some kind of gender fluidity that can happen with chickens, which is pretty fascinating. Wow, look at those pretty feathers. So here are our two cockerels that have been living in the garage. Reason being is that this guy, this is a Barnevelder. You see that he's got feathers coming in on his back now, but at one point he got picked on pretty badly and he had a big wound on his back where he was bare. So I wanted to let that heal and make sure he didn't get picked on again. So he's looking pretty good. So if I can get an image of this. What are you freaking out about, bud? Well, a little hard to see, but new feathers are coming in on that back, and it's filled in quite a bit too. And the wound that he had on his back had healed as well. Here we go. You can sort of see that. Those new quills there. And then this guy, this is our mutant salmon faverolles. He's got to be a rooster, and I based that actually for all of the cockerels on the comb development. It got bigger and redder much faster than the ladies. I thought that this bird was a female at first because he's so light, and the female salmon faverolles are very light colored, and the guys are pretty dark. I mean, they have some white on them, but they're pretty dark overall. And this guy's like a mutant. He's got some brown, no black or blue or any of that. So, interesting bird. This guy has also been pretty neurotic, although that seems to have gotten better. He seems to have gotten used to me being in proximity. Hey, buddy. Anyway, similarly, this guy had a picking wound that was pretty extensive. It was his tail feathers that had gotten picked off, and he had a wound there that needed to heal, and it's taken quite some time for new feathers to start coming in, but they are coming in now. You can see those quills sticking up right there. So I feel pretty good about putting these guys out. I didn't want them in with the other birds with the wounds or even the new quills coming in, simply because if they're getting picked on, that's the first thing that's going to get picked at, because those quills are full of blood. Now, there's still a possibility of that happening outside, but because everybody has a lot more space, it gives a bird that's being picked on a chance to escape and run away. And also everybody is not bored when they're outside, right? There's lots to do, there's lots to pick at in the ground. So the chances of them getting picked on are a lot less. They will get picked on a little bit, simply because they'll be essentially new to the coop. So everybody's got to reestablish their pecking order a little bit. But again, because they have more space and they can get away from each other, I'm not as concerned about that. So, this is interesting. The Barnevelder had his head feathers up like he was on alert. Hi, buddy. So, these guys are going to go out tonight. And then when I put them in the new coop, I will also put the rooster coop, I will also put in the Brahma rooster that is currently in with the pullets and needs to be in with the boys. So you guys are going to go on an adventure tonight. New house. And that should be pretty smooth. Again, we do it at night, so that for the birds, it kind of has the effect of they wake up in the morning and it's like they've always been together. It doesn't entirely work out that way, but it does help a great deal. Plus, the birds are really calm at night, so that makes a big difference. Hi, guys. Okay, well, we'll see how that goes tonight. Okay, so I just put the boys in. Here's the Barnevelder. It'd be nice if my camera would focus. And then this is oh, sorry about the shadow. That's our rooster that was in the puller house. This is our neurotic salmon faverolles. And hopefully these guys don't kill each other tonight. Uh-oh. Okay, so I've given these guys a couple minutes to get settled. Let's see how we're doing in here. Oh, pretty good. Oh, that's very hard to see. Hi, buddy. Okay, they're going to be all good. All right, good night, guys. See you tomorrow. Matilda here is getting a bunch of new feathers on her head. All that white are the quills coming in. So if you didn't know, chickens molt every fall. Actually, the Wyandotte behind her looks real skinny at the moment, and that's because she's in the middle of molting. And the way they molt really depends on the bird. Some birds lose a great majority of their feathers all at once and molt very quickly. Some birds molt very gradually. It takes a long time. I think a lot of our birds molt very gradually because I don't see a lot of evidence of missing feathers. But this is a good example of probably finishing up the molt. Maybe not. It looks like some of her tail feathers are pretty old. And this is Crooked Lady here, having trouble getting up. Help her out here. Here you go. Poor lady. Doris is looking quite beautiful and shiny. Also, if you didn't know, chickens don't lay eggs while they're molting, and the reason is growing feathers requires a lot of protein. So all of the protein that is going into eggs is going into feathers instead. So often it's pretty common to have many fewer eggs in the fall, or none at all, which is pretty much the case for us right now, which is also partially a product of that these birds are older and they don't lay as much. But we're getting an egg here or there, and that's about it. The fact that I actually have to buy store-bought eggs to eat right now is kind of hilarious. Most of these birds are winter hardy birds, which is sometimes partially defined by laying through the winter, which not all breeds of chicken do. These ladies do. They don't lay as much, but they do lay. Cute little muff. So here are some of our cockerels in their house, hanging out, chilling. So we did integrate 3 cockerels into this house on Thanksgiving Eve, and there was some squabbling. Unfortunately, it did not work out well for the salmon faverolles that had been in my garage. So he is actually back in the garage, and I'll get to that in a bit. Here's our Brahma cockerel who had been in the pullet yard. He's easily the biggest of the bunch, but the Plymouth Barred Rocks out here are the bosses. So he got a little picked on too, but it was really minor, and I just put a little lotion on his back to stop any picking, and I think we're all good. We've got both Barnevelder roosters out here now. Oh, there's a little sunning going on in the corner here. with Mr. Sussex. One of the barred rocks. Nice. I can see some of the Barnevelders, not this one so much, but some of the Barnevelders have some purple in their feathers, which is awful pretty. But this is a pretty copacetic, happy yard. We will have to reintegrate the other salmon Faverolles after he heals. A little bit of running around. Oh. Well, unfortunately, it did not work out well bringing this guy outside to be with the other cockerels. They went after his new tail feathers, the new quills, full of blood. They didn't do too much damage, just to the quills, but now he's got to grow them all back. At least they're not completely broken off, so it shouldn't take as long as it did last time. But unfortunately, he's going to be back in here in the garage for a while until he heals up completely, and then we'll try and put him out with the other guys again. It's going to be a little tougher at that point because he'll be the only new bird in the bunch. In any case, this is my garage buddy for probably a couple weeks. I probably should really give this guy a name. Haven't come up with one or really thought about it much yet. But he's reasonably happy in here, it seems. Hi, buddy. He's a little less neurotic than he was. Okay, bud. We'll check in with you later. So, a bit of sad news amidst all of this. This is Crooked Lady here, and she is really not doing well. She's really deteriorated in the last few days. She really can't walk at all at this point. She can't get in and out of the house at all, which getting in has been a problem for a couple of weeks. Somebody has to pick her up and put her in the house at night. But now she can't get out. Stay away, lady. And it's bad enough that every time she tries to get up, she rolls downhill, and she's kind of dehydrated. I've been managing to get some water into her. But this is really just not sustainable at this point, and I think we're really getting to the point of suffering. And I noticed today that her breathing is kind of off. So I think it's time, and I'm going to put her down today. And the way that I do that, not everybody has the same method, but I prefer to use a 22 rifle, long rifle, right to the head, and it's very quick and probably painless because it's instantaneous. So, just trying to give her some nice little treats right now that she can enjoy. I've been doing this every day for the last week or so, putting out some separate food for her while she can't really get to anything. She's gobbling it up. We've got mealworms in there and scratch and some pieces of squash. She's just gobbling it up. It's hard to keep the other ladies away from her food, even though I put lots of food out for them. And they always want to come eat hers as well. She's also been getting a little bit picked on, which is actually pretty normal when you have a lame bird or a sick bird. Sometimes the flock will call that bird on their own because they perceive that to be a potential disease and therefore potentially a threat to them. And the only thing that's really happened is that she's had her comb picked out a little bit, but her comb is in rough shape. I mean, it's got a lot of dirt on it right now, but it looks kind of shriveled, which I was seeing as a sign of dehydration. It's just hard for her to stay in one place long enough to get liquid in or to be able to stand at the drinker or get to the... Now she just can't get to the drinker at all. So this is really just... It's just kind of... She's just suffering at this point, so... So that's sad news, but such is the cycle of life. We all live and die, and some of us die sooner than others. And that's how it goes. We love you, Crooked Lady. Everybody's eating scratch and mealworms and pieces of squash. Yummy stuff. that beautiful feathering, double lacing. Hi, lady. Hi, tiny guy. Who's really a lady? Beatrix is snoring away over there. Just a couple of birds over here, hanging out in the tree. You got the life, ladies. Okay, everybody, that's it for Chick TV for today. Tiny guy. You're the best. See you next time. Give the video a like if you liked it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And share the video with like-minded people. Take care.